Shit. So dumb. That did not work whatsoever. Hola, how you guys doing? Today we get a remastered mod from Angel Works. You can see it up there. Now with the improvements, based on the feedback that we gave him last time, I would say we jump right in. You ready? 3, 2, 1, let's go! Also, we're gonna do this. We're gonna make this a nice log run. So if I ever lose a race, it's new card time. I ran into a weird issue. When this game gets closed, I can't boot it up again. Like it will give me an error message every time I try to restart the game. Yeah, if you want to get your hands on this mod, the Discord link is on my Discord. You're gonna have to jump Discords if you want to download it. So that's a lot more sensible amount of motion blur. In my opinion, this is the kind of motion blur that I think a lot of people would expect in a remaster. You know, just to make it feel newer. I gotta say though, I do like the addition of the 360 graphic effects. The only thing that gets closer to this is just playing the 360 version directly. Ah, I did it again. True. You know what it does? Well, the events have been slightly altered, right? So the events now fit the cutscenes. To actually end up where you see in the cutscene. Wow, that was very instant. That was blazingly fast. That instant transition. I like these little changes when it comes to the events like this, because then it does feel fresh, it does feel new. Even if it's just a little bit. You lose a life when I get busted? Yes, the car is gone if I get busted. It would be very sad if I get busted by condition 2 cops. I won. No, definitely both skipping. Otherwise this game takes a little bit too long. Like, Most Wanted is a lot of fun to replay, but if you do 15 bosses, it gets very repetitive. Oops. This is what happens when you look away for a second. I played so many bad racing games recently that I didn't even notice that I didn't have the perfect handling yet. I think I'm gonna modify the Nuzlocke a bit. You know, I can only use a car for one chapter, right? So if I win a chapter, I have to change the car anyways. So every chapter, I have to use a new car, and whenever I lose an event. I think we're still in hatchback territory so early in the game. Why does this car look like a trapezoid? Huh? I have a weird attachment to this car because it was my best friend's car for a really long time. So never forget, new car aerodynamics +5. That setting is never wrong. You can use it on all cars and it will always make you faster. And I felt recently there's more interest in Most Wanted. I might be going back to speedrunning Most Wanted, especially if there's nothing new on the horizon that I immediately want to check out. Shit, I might have just lost the event with that crash. Did I early retire the Audi? Guess not. So are we past our hatchback phase? Let's try some muscle. So, clutch or loss? Goodbye, Mustang. That was short-lived. Yo bros, the Supra! It's actually a really bad car in this game. They really managed to butcher the performance on this car. Just realized I didn't put aerodynamics on my Mustang. That might be why I lost. 9-second car. That's how long it takes me to crash it. Okay, rebuilding a running Supra. Kinda. You know what my problem with any kind of motion blur usually is? That it makes the image look like temporal anti-aliasing. Which is usually the thing that I want to avoid anyways. Might get rid of the jaggies, but it always feels like they turned down the resolution. I think it's always the implementation that goes wrong. As I said yesterday when I was playing Horizon 4, the Horizon games are probably one of the few racing games where I think motion blur can be left on. That one was remastered. Sometimes you get lucky and the modders call it differently. But with so many games and so many mods, sometimes you have an overlap. I would be very surprised if the Supra can do this track race in 9 seconds. Probably would have an average speed of 600 kilometers per hour to even make it. Would be kind of funny to have like some kind of mod that makes it as fast. So the speed brake is important, otherwise the car crashes into that other car because it crosses lanes by itself. 10-second car. Yeah, even 10 seconds might be a bit hard. God, I hate this Supra. It's so bad. This fucking card. At least this playstyle gives us a chance to use a bunch of new cars. Or just more cars. That's why we needed the extra cash. Otherwise we wouldn't be able to hot swap cars like this. One thing that's pretty brutal in this game, when you sell the cars, you don't get your money back at all for upgrades. Upgrades, once they're on the car, are not worth anything. I would say this car can do the drag race. Not we're about to find out. That's gonna take a little bit of extra time today, rebuilding the heat level every time. If we use a new car every chapter. I gotta say, using a new car every chapter feels a lot more like what they expected. You know what I mean? Like, it feels more like a normal playthrough than what I usually do. But the thing is, you wouldn't really have that kind of money if you play this game normally, right? You wouldn't have the money to just change car every chapter. And I feel like the real exciting part was trying to take a Blacklist car off one of the opponents and use that instead. Like, we need some kind of pink slip mechanic again. And, you know, even if it's just hinted, right? Like, you race them, you win, you get their car, without the risk of losing your own. Even that is somewhat interesting. And to be fair, the first time you play that game, it doesn't really feel like, you know, you're not in danger. But the game doesn't exactly tell you the opposite, right? The game tells you, well, you have to risk your car against the Blacklist racer, right? The game tells you the opposite of what it actually does, right? You can't actually lose your car. Trust me, EA does not give a shit, bro. You can add any cars you want. I'm telling you that right now. You do not have to fear EA interfering because you put in other cars. Anything else you're afraid of? Let me know right now. You would be the first mod EA would take down. And after 20 years of Most Wanted modding, they didn't, you know, take anything down. So, yeah, and I don't think you understand the meaning of official. If you want to be afraid of something, the big spiders in Skyrim. Yeah, and the Harry Potter movies. You talk to a staff member. Okay, who and when? You don't have to tell me the exact person, but I'm really curious who you talk to. I feel like there's a bigger chance that someone impersonated an EA employee than you actually talking to someone. But I'm still telling you right now, you can't just replace the cars, it's gonna be fine. Nobody's gonna come after you. There's no need to be afraid. The mod would be better if you do add new cars. EA will send the giant Skyrim spiders after you. That's Bethesda. EA could send you the Plants vs. Zombies. They will send a shooter flower, the pea shooter, to your home. So we need, what? 18,000 more bounty. Yeah. Nintendo might fuck with you. EA doesn't do anything against Need for Speed mods because they know it's basically free publicity. You're remaking Most Wanted on Unreal 5. That's the first time I'm hearing about that. I thought we were still talking about the mod for this game. You're remaking Most Wanted on Unreal. Dude, if that was the case and that was official, there's no way you're not on the NDA. Like, what are you saying right now doesn't make sense. Let's say you are officially contracted to make Most Wanted in Unreal Engine. There's no way you're not under NDA. So, everything, it doesn't add up, what are you saying right now? Oh my god, Most Wanted Remaster confirmed. I've seen so many remaster videos of Most Wanted where people like recreated some part of Rockport within Unreal Engine. I mean, I can see that you remake Most Wanted in Unreal Engine, I just don't see how anything of that would be official. Nor how you imagine that you get the car licensing. Angel, you are using real cars. Of course there's licensing, what are you talking about? I'm trying to see where your head is at. Like, if you remake Most Wanted, you cannot ask money for it. If there's anything licensed in it, licensed music, licensed cars, people, right? Like the cutscenes. Like, I'm trying to understand what your situation is because I don't really. Remaking? Yeah, remaking Most Wanted with unlicensed cars and unlicensed music. Or at least free licensed music. I'm missing 750 bounty. You can't... But the thing is, 750 is exactly 10 seconds of chase and condition 2 cop. Okay, here's a trick. Nice. The roadblock should have seen me, but there's this window of opportunity. Oops, let's go. Dude, I saw an extreme lethal racing game recently. And I was surprised it had licensed cars. I'm trying to remember what it was called. Project Reformed. Pretty sure he's not selling it, man. That's free for anyone to download. You know, if you have a Patreon or, you know, some way to support the creator that is not selling it, those are two very different things, legally especially. Right? There's no paywall. You don't have to pay first so you can play it. It's like what I do, right? Like I provide content, but you don't have to pay for it. You can. You know, initially when streaming started, gaming companies were like, people will stop buying games. They will just watch people play it. I mean, that already happened with YouTube Let's Plays. Okay, so you're setting the framework for a Most Wanted Remaster in Unreal Engine. So that's your goal. Okay, got it. I wonder how you even recreate a physics engine. I feel like the Unreal Engine would be powerful enough to just emulate the handling of Most Wanted's engine, you know? I don't know if that even works, right? It's just brainchild. To somehow emulate the physics engine of Most Wanted in the Unreal Engine to keep it the same. Because I think that's gonna be like the #1 thing. Remaking the handling will probably fail really badly. The thing is, if you give people the exact same handling, then, you know, they can't complain. 75% of sales. Yeah, but I feel like that's still a fantastic offer, because Most Wanted has so many fans, or Need for Speed in general. Like if you offer people, you know, Most Wanted, Carbon, and World Cars, like that's a lot of content. Like you can very easily get rich of 25% that are left, which I think is actually quite fair considering it's all their intellectual property, and they have to cover, you know, licensing. That was too early. If you stick on the You sit on the speed brake a little bit longer, you get past. Right, like here, just sit on it, and then it doesn't even change the lane anymore. Lee's CLK RX-7, Impreza, Porsche. There's a few good choices here. Didn't get Earl's car, but we can buy it. I'm actually fine with the stock NK rims. Yeah. The car is gone anyways. Wow, I didn't expect the Earl's car to be this slow. Alright, I'm in a Porsche fever. I like this one more. Some Porsche kits are just white but ugly. Yeah, Evo that in the drag race. Should we try it again? Actually, I wanna make sure that the 4th event is the drag race, because it's gonna reset my heat level. And that used to be my old pattern that I actually remembered. Right now I was considering, is the livery off center or is Cayman off center? But I guess Cayman must be off center because it has the S at the end. Difficulty isn't bad. I'm just saying you should include multiple difficulties. People like a challenge. Trust me. Some people will enjoy stronger opponents. Options are good in general. Yeah, that's what I always say. Whenever a game forces a decision on me, I'm always mad about it. Like so many times, a game will force a decision for the player and I absolutely hate it. Where I want exactly the opposite of what the game wants you to experience. And it would be, you know, some really simple things sometimes. Like a reset button. Like when a game only has an auto reset under certain conditions. Like sometimes those conditions are not met. And then you're in that weird situation where the game doesn't give you a reset, but you also can't reset yourself. Which is so weird for a racing game. We might lose this car here. Someone's rubber banding like crazy. You gotta be so careful with speed trap events. If you're leading the pack, they will catch up to you. But in a speed trap event, that means they're gonna have higher speed values. So then they caught up to you, and they have higher speed values, so you're pretty guaranteed to lose. I mean, I lost to every single one of them. That's crazy. You know what? I'm gonna borrow an extra life for this car. I will get rid of it, but later. I wanna do a few races with it. I will replace it after, I would say, 3 more races. 3 more races, then it gets displaced. Oh, it's another speed trap event. Or is it not? No, it's not. I mean, I'm not too surprised that I got smoked by the Carrera GT. It's always fun to ignore the rules, right? I made a pact with the devil, so I got a few more lives. My soul for an extra 3 races. I love that the NPCs are really bad at driving in off-road territory. Screen peek and split screen one-on-one. The thing is, I have really good spatial awareness. For me, it was always impossible not to see the other person's screen. But you're right, I did do that. Especially during like James Bond sessions. But my brother did the same, so it was a fair playing field, right? Like my brother and I, we always knew where we were on the map. Like the element of surprise was always gone in the James Bond games. So it was always down to skill. Right, who picked up the better weapon or was the better shooter? My brother. Yeah. Caught me on that one. Doesn't happen too often, but from time to time I'll slip a little bit of German. Did I always win against him? Luckily I didn't. One game where I was superior was Smash Bros. It was still fun. At some point we turned on items to even the odds some more. But without items he couldn't beat me. At least most of the time. So I want to switch the car after the drag race. Alright, let's see if I can redeem myself on the event where I died earlier. One thing you should consider though, my brother was obviously 5 years younger than me. Always. So there were definitely times where I just were, you know, more experienced in pretty much everything. So he always had an uphill battle, you know, trying to beat me. I think one of the most fun we ever had was playing Portal 2 together. Wait, why is the speed trap so bad? I'm gonna lose again. Hunter is really far behind, so I think he won't. Give me a reason. See? Do you see with your eyes? No, the difficulty is not good. It needs to be harder. You underestimate how many veterans there are for Need for Speed games. So, here's the trick to avoid the heat reset. You restart the event. Then you quit out. Still here. Oh wait, I'm at heat level 1 because I didn't have any heat buildup. On this car. I did avoid the heat reset, but I was at 1, so it didn't make a change. But okay, I forgot about that. So, the car is lost, so it gets retired. Maybe a bad timing considering I have the cop chase coming up. Oh well. This game is as old as you? Yup. Most Wanted 20 years. When's the official birthday for Most Wanted? I guess it also depends which release you're looking at. European, American release. November 16. So in 5 days? No, 16, 8 days. November 15 is the earliest date. Okay, and which region is that release? I'm not sure which body kit I like the most. Let's go with the big one. The car looks so puny otherwise. And I think it's a body kit that I haven't used before. 15 November was for the Americans. I don't remember ever using this body kit in the first place. Let's see if it's good. So we need 7 wins. The mod is new, yeah? That is a funky body kit. There's a first ever YouTube video of Most Wanted. Lambo Racing. How do you know that this is the earliest Most Wanted video you can find on YouTube? Like I would imagine that the trailer released before this thing. 30th October 2005. Yeah, so? That was a beta version of the video? Man, it was so pixelated I didn't even pay attention. The car very easily reaches its top speed. Carbon was kinda rushed. I mean, Need for Speed was always rushed. That's what happens when you only have a 1-year development cycle. It still worked during the PlayStation 2 era, but once they hit PlayStation 3 and the systems became harder to develop for, they had to take shortcuts, leaving features out. I think Need for Speed would have been very different nowadays if Black Box was allowed 2 years of development time with the start of Carbon. With Pro Street, in my opinion, it was already very obvious that they didn't have enough time to make the game that they wanted. And Undercover was a complete shit show. That's when it broke. Shouldn't have done that. Turning around against cops in the lightest car the game has to offer is not a good idea. I got away once, I shouldn't have tried it again. The thing is, if I do this with the Golf, it's no problem. But the Golf can easily break through this. How much cash? 2,200, so much. Alrighty then, new car time. Let's try them Pretza. A bit of a squeeze. I love taking out cops like this. You can do that with a condition 5 cop, it's gonna destroy them. If we can keep our heat level, yeah, that would be nice. In my opinion, it would make a lot more sense too. The game had the exact opposite logic, where they basically said, okay, the cops know the car has the heat and not the player. I would much prefer if the player kept the heat. I think that's actually a bit of a downfall of the gameplay mechanics. You change the car, you lose all of your heat, you have to rebuild it. And the thing is, low-level cops are kind of boring, especially when you're in a faster car. My personal top 3 outside of the M3 in this game: Golf, Carrera GT, and probably the RX-7. I mean, I never give up hope that Criterion comes up with a better Need for Speed than this game. But what this shows really is that PlayStation 2 graphics and hardware was good enough to create the gameplay that people are aching for. But no need for PlayStation 3, 4, or even 5 technology to make a really amazing racing game. But all of the technology that we had since the PlayStation 2, at least in Need for Speed terms, did not improve the gameplay. And that's the thing that hurts me the most. And I definitely preferred when Need for Speed was handled by Black Box. Like, I was disappointed in Undercover, but the Shift games were just as boring to me. You know, the Shift games might not have been as technically bad as Undercover, but I was so bored with Shift. Like, I really did not enjoy playing that. It didn't feel like Need for Speed whatsoever. And during that time, you would have gotten a better game if you played GT4 or even Forza Motorsport. That's why I don't like the Shift games. They are better alternatives, and it was not your typical Need for Speed experience that people were asking for. So for me, it was just a lose-lose situation. The only thing I could possibly imagine that the limitations, you know, allowed them to focus on the most important things. Right? Because they didn't have everything available, they could concentrate on the things that they did have. But the number one thing that really made these games as good as they are is that they wrote their own game engine. Right, nowadays, nearly every developer is using Unreal Engine or another in-house engine like Frostbite. And then, well, you're limited in what you can do with your game because you're using that particular engine. I think that is what made Most Wanted so special too, and Underground games and everything, because they wrote their own game engine. Obviously, they kept developing it for the follow-up games, but that is what it took. That is what it took to make like a fantastic game. And let's just go back to the Black Box era. It'd be a lot of fun. KuruHS is a remaster with open world multiplayer that exists already as a mod. It's called Most Wanted Online. Yeah, the thing is, it's actually quite important to think about the non-PC players, because that's usually where the most players are. And most of them are still on consoles. I mean, it makes sense. It's just a money issue, right? A gaming PC is more expensive than a console. But like, some people just don't have more than $500 to spend on a system. Did do sunset yet? Yes, I did. It was definitely cool to see Most Wanted at night. Reminded me a lot of the Need for Speed World experience. Oh god, CLK 500, somebody wanted it, here it is. The trash car itself. Here's something interesting to think about. When you start the game, Razor is number 15 on the Blacklist, which means there's 14 races in front of him, right? But then Ronnie and Bull also joined the Blacklist, and they're 1, 2, 3, right? So they actually pushed out 2 more Blacklist members that you never get to meet, right? In the beginning of the game, they tell you Razor, the number 15 guy on the Blacklist, literally the last guy.
Yeah.
But there's no talk about the 2 that were pushed out by Ronnie and Razor. Ronnie and Bull, I mean. Right, so now you can theorize who got kicked out. Was it Rock and Mia? Probably not, because the way Razor talks to me, they don't know that he doesn't know her, so she wasn't Blacklist material yet. So now you can think about, okay, who are the 2 Blacklist dudes and girls that got pushed out, that were never to be seen? Rog could have definitely been one of them, but then we still have one missing. Let's assume Rog was one of them. That is a fair assessment, a fair guess with all the information that we have. But then there's still one more spot. When does Mia mention that she was a Blacklist member once? I do not remember that. Thing is, you didn't make any friends on the way. You're just trolling 24/7. There's no way you have friends. Rock was supposed to be number 16 early in the game. Yeah, I mean, maybe you just kicked him out of the Blacklist. Maybe they plan to have him as number 16 in the Blacklist, and during the prologue you basically kick him out or something. I think Pro Street has the best soundtrack. Most Wanted soundtrack is iconic, great, really well fitting. But I do think Pro Street has better songs. I just feel like there was a lot more energy in the Pro Street soundtrack. And it fits super well to like the festival hype. Kinda like, you know, the radio in Forza Horizon 1 being absolute banger. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of speed trap events, but this is where the spice is, you know? This is where you might get wrecked. This is where you might lose your car. Do I think Darius knew who Razor was? Probably. If you think about it somewhat logically, it's the city nearby. So I'm pretty sure you would know about the Blacklist in Rockport. And Razor ended up being the top guy on the Blacklist too, so I'm pretty sure he heard about him. At the very least, it's more likely than not. But it's about 50%. Right? Just like you know about certain figures in motorsport. Right? Let's say you're in rally, right? You still know who Max Verstappen is. Even if you're not a Formula 1 dude. And I think it's really hard to be a boss anywhere if you don't have like general knowledge about a lot of things. But you need to have that oversight, or you're not gonna be boss for very long. Wait, we get rubber banded again. By a lot. Okay, before I retire the car, let me do the cop chase in it. I wanna see how such a heavy car does against the cops. Yes, we can get the quick escape out of the way. Or maybe I don't, because I might actually encounter... Ah, never mind. We're not gonna encounter another cop. So yeah.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
There's neither official nor even unofficial news about a Most Wanted remake, master, whatever. And the one thing that I've seen firsthand, EA only has Criterion and Codemasters. Criterion is working on Battlefield, so unless Codemasters is working on Need for Speed, there's not gonna be another Need for Speed right now. It was actually the event that broke my neck earlier too. Officer Kronk. Yeah, I really liked that approach that they had in Most Wanted with the double antagonist. Right? You hate on Razor, you hate on Cross. They're both after you. There are not too many games that have 2 antagonists. I mean, to be fair, the entire Blacklists are antagonists, but you know the big ones, obviously, right? Razor and Cross. Heat had 2. Yeah. You had 2 cops that you could hate on. I mean, there's a reason why I think Heat was successful. Gameplay was fun. Story was good enough. Cops were actually quite threatening when the game released. Sadly, they got nerfed. Things, if you don't break it, there's no guarantee that they will. Sometimes they pass through it just as well. Can I get some shoutouts for Windows 11? I mean, Windows can be just as frustrating as like the Need for Speed franchise. They have so many weird decisions that they keep repeating with every iteration. Never fixing it, never listening to their users. Yeah, I'm looking forward to mod releases for the Crew Unlimited. I think that could be really fun. Okay, there should be an evasion bug, meaning the evasion meter appears and then you're immediately back into hiding afterwards. It's very buggy how it works, because it behaves differently to how it normally would. Another Porsche. It worked so good last time. The upgrades suck so much money out of your pocket. I need to stop doing these events. The cars are just not fast enough. Alright, I'm not retiring the car this early. Yeah, these speed trap events just don't work. It's just unfair. You lead the entire race and you're still far behind. Like, this shit never works. The only way to really play against the unfairness of this event type is to sand bag on purpose, right? Stay behind, in the beginning and then catch up to them so they don't rubber band. I am supposed to switch cars, but I'm too mad right now. Yeah, switching cars after this race. That was surprisingly close. Never mind, I missed the checkpoint. That's crazy. I actually hit the finish line, but I missed the checkpoint. Like, I was missing an entire checkpoint worth of time, and I still made it to the finish line. Also, I don't remember that this is an event where you can bug out the toll booth. That surprises me even more right now. True, I did say I would replace the car. But to be fair, that wasn't the car's fault that this event bugged out. I'm surprised another toll booth bugged out though. Don't even know which toll booth bugged out. It was either this one or the next one. It did it again, didn't it? So it was the second to last checkpoint again. That is so messed up. W ads. I really wish the ads would actually pay a reasonable amount. Like, I honestly do not understand how Twitch is still going as a platform. The way they handle monetization, it's so fucked up. Let's sell the other cars, I need some money. But hey, we managed to spend over $1 million with all the cars. I think I'm gonna stick to the toll booths. This looks a lot more sporty than the one that you get from me. Oh wow, the checkpoint actually counted, I just realized. I don't even know if I hit the checkpoint any different, but this time it did count. So here's a cool trick: if you have the cops on you after a race, you press restart. The game remembers your progress, but you don't have to deal with the cops. That's a true crude tactic right there. Dude, look at the minimap. How are they so slow? And then they rubber band. So already 50 kilometers behind. I mean, if I can finish so early, but they are missing an entire checkpoint, it would work. Just not sure we get there. Okay, I think I can finish early enough to win against Ronnie. Maybe. If it's... maybe not. Let's see. Nice. Hey, what do you mean no subs? We got one new sub today, which was Michael's gift sub. But let's be honest here for a second. If the Twitch income doesn't recover, we're probably gonna have to do changes to the stream, right? Because when we reach that point where I can't pay my bills on a regular basis, then I just can't stream as much anymore. I'm gonna have to get some kind of during the week job and stream on the weekend. Something like that. It's not gonna happen immediately, but it's definitely something I have on my mind. Now, streaming on Twitch itself has become pretty... Like, the problem is everything becomes more top heavy. Like, the biggest creators get even bigger, and everyone below that suffers. Right, the only platform where you can easily survive as a mid-sized creator is YouTube. So my focus is probably gonna swap over to YouTube and away from Twitch. I mean, you can't see the current sub count right now, but it's about 450. Right, like Twitch has no interest, or at least not a lot of interest, in supporting their small and mid-sized streamers. They just go all in on the big ones. That might work for the platform, but obviously it doesn't work for a lot of creators. And, you know, if Twitch is abandoning the midfield, then I just have to go over to YouTube more. Multi-streaming. The thing is, there's barely any people on Kick. Like, Kick is really small. Like, even if I were to multi-stream over to Kick, it wouldn't create much revenue. Because most people that know me are on Twitch anyways. I think Twitch as a whole is in trouble. I mean, to be fair, it's not the worst if this becomes a hobby again, right? That was my hobby for the longest time. Before I went full-time streaming back in 2017. Yeah. And, you know, maybe we just have a repeat of what have already happened. You know, I just need to get a handful of, you know, let's say, viral videos on YouTube, and then, you know, maybe Twitch grows again, who knows. But at the moment, Twitch is very disappointing. Not because of you guys, but the platform as a whole. A new pandemic. No. How about no? Definitely something I'm not wishing for. Yeah, that's probably like what I'm actually gonna try is probably multi-stream to YouTube and activate memberships on there as well. You see what happens. No, I don't think I want to do. I don't want to do membership videos. That's not a feature I'm interested in. Well, as it stands currently, if I take all of my incomes together, I can pay my bills, but it's basically a break even at this point. So I'm just hoping we're at a low point. You know what I mean? Like if it gets any worse, then I'm just out of options. Then I just have to accept that racing games don't get enough attention anymore. Obviously, then you guys are gonna get less content if I have to work a normal job during the week. But we're not there yet. I'm just saying, you know, it becomes more relevant as the sub count on Twitch drops, right? Like 2025 was by far the worst year. Like even back in 2017 when I started, I had more revenue from the channel, and that just hurts, you know. That's really bad. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best to keep the boat floating, and let's see if it works. That's the best. That's the only thing I can do anyways, right? Try my best and see if it works out. It would have helped a lot if Horizon released this year, but that didn't happen. I really noticed it during this Need for Speed marathon as well. Although, you know, I said I would match, and I did match every sub. We didn't get a lot, right? I matched all gift subs, which I think was about 600. So 600 from you, 600 from me. That's very little. And I remember the downfall with Twitch started when they were forcing more ads. I mean, it could have been coincidence that the channel was getting small at the same time. I just don't believe that's the case. I just feel like a lot of people just left Twitch as a platform. So, you know, it's not all bad news, because the YouTube channel is actually doing pretty good right now. But I hear a lot from a lot of people that Twitch has become, you know, a bit unwatchable with the amount of ads that they force down people's throats, and people just leave Twitch, right? Right, I'm not gonna put anyone here on the spot, but ask yourself, you know, why are you not subscribed to the Twitch channel? Right, I'm not gonna call anyone out here. I bet you all have your reasons. No, the problem at the moment is that so many people unsubscribed this year that it has become a problem. Twitch is giving you those ad plans you can choose from. Yes. But when you set it to 0, Twitch still plays ads. That's the problem. When you set your own timing, then you know it is at least limited how many ads are playing. But the moment you turn it to 0, Twitch will force ads at random times. And you know, just from a personal note, at least my psychology is always bigger, better, right? So when the decline started, you know, it hit me a little bit on a psychological level. Right, growing is fun, declining not so much. The thing is, I don't trust the ad system whatsoever. Like, I made $150 in ad revenue on Twitch last month. I can't even cover my electricity bill with the ad income. Like, I just feel like it's the wrong approach for Twitch. And when they were focusing on subs, we had a lot more subs too, right? When the people just didn't get those ads, we had a lot more subs, and the sub revenue was also more for Twitch than the ad revenue. So the entire approach just doesn't work in my opinion, because everyone gets the same percentage. So it doesn't matter if you're small, mid or big creator, right? We all get the same 70%. Unless you're a really small creator, then you only get 50%. You watched more ads than dollars. Yeah, I mean, that's not surprising to me. We're not getting paid $1 if you watch an ad, right? You get maybe a cent per viewer per ad, if you're lucky. Sometimes it's less. I mean, I cannot say that since the leadership of Twitch changed that it got better. So yeah, for me it's just, you know, very disappointing, I guess, in myself. When I started on Twitch and when it was going really well, you know, I was kind of hoping that, you know, at some point we're gonna get up to like 10,000 live viewers playing Need for Speed games, right? That was kind of the dream for me. But over the last 8 years, we didn't really get too many banger racing games, right? Like none of the games really became mainstream. There might be a fairly big player base for Forza Horizon, but those are just, you know, casual players that play here and there, right? They're not really interested in any content related to Forza Horizon. But they will never watch a YouTube channel around Forza Horizon or look up tips and tricks. It's not, you know, popular with the young people. As I said, plan's gonna be to extend live stream to YouTube and probably increase the focus on YouTube as well, so we can, you know, find more. I mean, the strategy has always been, you know, find followers on YouTube and then bring them over to Twitch. We can see if that works again. But yeah, the number one thing is that there's just not enough new people coming to the racing genre. And that is primarily because we're not getting very many new racing games. Like, you guys feel that as much as I do. Best Entertainment usually is a mod for one of the great games in the last 20 years. Takeover Culture, I mean, it was literally Unbound. A$AP Rocky, his event type was called The Takeover. It didn't play exactly like the real life thing, but that's how it was promoted. The thing is, it's another year. It's another year until GTA 6 comes out. I totally agree. I think we will get a great viewership with GTA 6. But that's a year away, man. I think that is like the major thing that happened this year. Not any major release that people are excited for. Right? Just one flop after the other. Like, I can totally see a lot of people coming back, but they want to see something new that is exciting. Next year should probably be pretty damn good with Horizon 6 and GTA 6. I mean, I would be okay with GTA 6 being delayed even further, as long as I get Horizon 6 next year. Wow, actually too slow. Not enough power uphill. Exactly, like, think about the words banger racing game. I don't think too many will come to your mind. And especially not newer games. Drive Club and Horizon 3. Yeah, that's also 10 years ago. I remember when I started streaming, they just released Hot Wheels DLC for Horizon 3. That was fun. Still is. Distance blew you away? Yeah, that was a surprise to me too. That was really fun. Drive Club 2 on the PS5. Would have been sick. Dude, I was actually waiting these 8 years for something big to come around. Because that is how a lot of content creators blew up on Twitch. Like, they were decently successful with a certain game, and then a new one came out. Then everyone wanted to play and watch the new game, and then obviously their channel was somewhere on the top and they blew up. The color on this is so bad. Can add the missing cars back into the remaster. Yeah, probably the thing to do. Holy shit, Potter, how much? This rubber band is crazy, dude. But I think this might be an event where I get so far ahead that they miss the last speed trap, and then it doesn't matter how much they rubber band. Let's see. But this is clearly the thing to do right now, because they have been rubber banding too much. If I fall back now, it's game over for sure. But best chance of winning this is to make them miss a checkpoint or finish so late that they lose anyways. The thing is, I like high stakes a lot, so I wouldn't be surprised if I play it before the next marathon. Oh yeah, they definitely missed the checkpoint. That was fine. Surprised we got a rhino this early. And there goes the donut. Nah. That was my fault. I was indecisive. That car's done. I didn't lose the Gallardo yet. I think I'll finish the cop chase in it. And then let's see if we have enough money. Actually, we don't really have enough money. I'm not sure if... I mean, I can try to get Ronnie's car. I'll definitely try to get Ronnie's car. Oh boy. I have to restart the heat level again. I mean, usually I do these Nuzlockers, you know, without spending money. Then you can absolutely get away with it. You just need to, you know, try to grab as many Blacklist cars as possible. And there's a lot of dead cars on the list, huh? I mean, I already talked about what I would probably add to this mod. You know, I like the vanilla approach. At the same time, adding additional cars would be kind of fun. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, multiple difficulty options. Because I feel like a lot of people that replay Most Wanted, you know, they might be interested in, you know, giving themselves a challenge. Trying something, you know, slightly different. It's still the same game, just on a high difficulty, right? Nothing earth-shattering, but it's something you would get in most modern games. Well, it's the original version of Most Wanted, so of course you can speedrun it. There's nothing good or bad about it. It's just actually never mind. You can use the lab glitch. So you're limited in the speedruns you can actually make. Right? Any modded version is running on 1.3 and they don't have a lab glitch. The only thing that I have to set up for Most Wanted would be a loadless timer, because that's what's being used for speedrun comparisons. Right? They don't check real time anymore. I have like a double timer running, you know, timer with loads, timer without loads. Well, we actually managed not to get the car. Well, I guess we're sitting in the Lambo. Another chapter. Really tried to get his car. I mean, we have two choices here. Either I cheat money or I retire the car that didn't lose yet. What do you guys want? Yeah, we might need to get ourselves some cash. I mean, I could get a cheap car as well. You can have one of my markers. Alright, I have to kick out the turbo. Nah, I'm 82 too high. I have to kick out both. I was gonna kick out the engine. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to get some money first, I guess, before I get turbo and transmission. Alright, we're gonna make it a little bit easier on ourselves. We're gonna put in the junk mints that we have. Funnily enough, it was easier. It was easier grabbing like Blacklist cars than trying these cars and get them through an Nuzlocke. I mean, we are running on the stock gearbox here, which is good for acceleration, not so good for top speed. This corner, it doesn't matter if it's prologue or random race, I get stuck on this thing sticking out every time. Do you think Horizon 6 will launch on the PS5? Ooh, I don't know, man. Xbox can get a lot of sales first on their system. I don't think so, no. I think Xbox is gonna keep that game on, you know, PC and consoles, Xbox consoles at first. I mean, eventually it's gonna be on a PS5. I don't think it's gonna be at launch. I think at launch they wanna get all sales on PC and Xbox. Why have I stopped playing Recreation? The thing is, the game was so good, I couldn't take it anymore. Right? There's such a thing as too much of a good thing. It was just overwhelming me, dude. I needed to take a break just so, you know, my brain could recover from all the excitement. I needed my nerves to recover from all the bliss. But I didn't want to die from happiness yet. Can we grab his car? Nope. I'm so unlucky with the fucking markers. I should have changed it in the settings. I wonder if it's fast enough for this one. It's actually a really hard speed trap, unless you have a super fast car. Ooh, even with speed breaker. Maybe not even with speed breaker, even though I crashed someone. Did I get Ming's Lambo? No, I get really unlucky with cars. Easy. Flat spin in this game is a lot harder than Burnout, I can tell you that much. Oh yeah, you wanted to see the game with minimum graphics. The worst thing for me was always the removal of the yellow filter. Because the base colors of Most Wanted don't look very good. Like, it looks so extremely washed out. You can really tell, in my opinion, that the developers never thought about what the game looks like without that filter. Right now I'm trying to make enough money to get like one more car into this run. Dark 7 didn't lose yet, but I kind of wanna add another car to the completion. I would just dominate the rest of the game with this car. Also a possibility. I mean, it might get busted during the cop chase. Although we don't really need to do that much. We got some extra bounty in the previous chapter. So I think it's gonna be a quick escape and 600,000 bounty milestone or something? Or 800,000? Heat 5 is max. Not necessarily. There's Heat 6 and 7 in the challenge series. In the career mode, it's limited to 5. And then you have like a bajillion mods for Most Wanted that have higher heat levels. I think the Pepega mod, for example, has 20 different heat levels. Wait, how's Cross here? He's teleporting. We just saw him on the highway. That is true. They have sound files going up to heat level 10. It just shows you the development process, right? Like everything gets produced at the same time, and then whatever makes it until the deadline gets put into the game, right? But the people that do the voiceovers have obviously nothing to do with the actual game creation, right? They just do their job. They've been told, okay, we need stuff until heat level 10, and then if the Black Box team can't make the game to include level 10, then, well, the sound files are still there. And if they didn't have to optimize disk space, might as well leave it in there. Leave it there for people to find. I mean, a lot of mods give you just all cross as opponents once you hit level 10. I think everyone was disappointed by how short Carbon was. I was also in the same boat. It was like, what? It's over already? I wanted more. I wanted to play the game some more. Because most people probably beat the first Carbon playthrough anywhere between 4 and 5 hours. Right, that was without thinking too hard about how to beat the game quickly. You just played it and then it's over. Man, when I was 8 years old, I didn't finish most of my games. Like, when I became, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 years old, I went back to my Nintendo 64 out of nostalgia, just to figure out, like, all the games that I never finished. Like, I don't know if you know Diddy Kong Racing, but there's this one world hidden behind the waterfall. I never found it as a kid. So, I never even found that last area. I was so excited when I replayed Diddy Kong Racing and I found this extra area. And then, you know, I unlocked the Whizpig, the boss fight. Like, it was very exciting to me. Do you have any news on Need for Speed? Not really. As far as I know, is they're working on Battlefield. And since Battlefield is doing really well, probably gonna work on some DLC before they move on to Need for Speed again. The only good takeaway about Battlefield 6 is that Battlefield 6 was appealing to nostalgia, right? Just bringing back the features that people loved in Battlefield games. The game did really, really well. So I hope EA takes the hint, right? Giving people what they're asking for is a good business strategy. True, the Nuzlocke challenge wasn't that hard. The thing is, I wanted to give myself some kind of barrier because it would just be vanilla Most Wanted otherwise with some, you know, graphical improvements. But I just wanted to turn up the fun. Also, it makes you play the game more, right? Like, you're not gonna be sitting in one car beginning to end. You get to experience different cars and handling models. Where are the leaves coming from? We're in a tunnel next to a city and a highway. Like, where are the leaves coming from? I don't know if you noticed, but there is like no vegetation. There's a tree, I found one. I don't really want to redo Razor. Let's just ignore that I failed this. The thing is, I got lazy. Like, if I wasn't lazy, I would have just, you know, used the speed breaker, because it gives you more freedom to drive. And then you don't have to rely on the stupid auto lane system that tries to kill you all the time. Just a little bit of cheating, okay? Just for the night. This is where I also see that the minimap isn't even complete during races, especially not in those areas where you're not supposed to drive. The follow button if you haven't already, because I still owe you guys a dance pad playthrough of Most Wanted. I don't know if you remember those dance pads, those where you have like arrows on them, and you basically, you know, use those for rhythm games. We're gonna use this dance pad controller to beat Most Wanted. I'm probably gonna make it harder as well. I'm probably gonna add a Nuzlocke to that challenge as well. Oh, interesting. Buggy cutscene. Remember when I started this game for the first time, I got beaten by Razor because he took the shortcut. Well, I didn't know about it, and then all of a sudden he was ahead in third lap. I have no idea what I just did. That's the problem with the motion blur. It obscures details. Shit. So dumb. That did not work whatsoever. I did it so quickly in the RX-7, and then this car is like, nope. Good thing we're not on a world record attempt right now. That would sting. I remember someone failing the world record right at the end here. They were taking the safe strategy, but out of bounds, and it still failed. Like, that really hurts. You take the safe strategy, which takes more time, obviously, and it fails anyways. Okay, let's take the backup strategy. The thing is, when you have a mod like this, the textures get loaded differently, and then everything looks different here. Yeah, dude, I don't even see the rock wall. I'm pretty sure that's the wrong one. So the reason why this fails now is simply because it looks different. Like usually you have visual cues that you can orientate yourself on to pull this off, but this mod makes it look different, so I don't know how to do it if I can't see it. So I guess we're just gonna do a regular 5-minute walk here. Yeah, exactly. The map, the textures, everything gets loaded slightly different when you replace textures. So it looks completely different down there, and I don't have any visual cue anymore. I can do a lot of things with the minimap, but not the precise jump at the end. But for the precise jump at the end, you need to orientate yourself on some textures which were not loaded, so I was blind. Maybe 1 in 50 runs you get lucky and could somehow pull it off without seeing it, but yeah, most of the times you wouldn't. It would basically be just, you know, flipping coins until you get 5 heads in a row. You know what I mean? Like, it's really, really unlikely to happen. Okay, I think it's over here. Nope. I don't even know what I'm hitting, man. I think it's this one. No, it's not. Wait, is it here? It is here. Man, this looks so strange. I think that actually worked, though. Slide a bit down. And we go. But that's actually the right spot, but it was the backup strategy. I couldn't do the fast strategy because the visual cue is just missing. So you're lucky, you get to see it anyways. You know, usually you have to wait 5 minutes for me to call you to open up the bridge. This way you can circumvent the bridge. Let's go! We're out of here. GG! That was the wrong split. Well, we did make it below 10 hours. Only a few seconds off. You missed the entire thing. Will this be on YouTube? It probably will be, yeah, because it's like a new mod that we can show off. Guys, sleep tight. Do come back tomorrow for more, and good night, hot shots. Hit the follow button if you haven't already.